my name is Harshal and this is Operating System Lab experiment number 4, CPU scheduling algorithm. So in this experiment we will see what are the CPU scheduling algorithms in operating system. So let's begin our video. So the first is the process scheduling. So what is a process? A process is a small program that is executed by the computer, and in the CPU we can see the multiple process. So when we open the task manager, so here we can see all the processes that are running in the background also we can see. So these are the processes, and we can see the all the processes that are running. So here are the name of the processes. Here is the process id, the status, the username, and all the processes are running in the pc or laptop. So these are known as the processes in the operating system. So this is the small unit, and when the user operates the computer, so each and every process are executed one by one, and those processes are scheduled by the algorithms that we are going to see in this video. So the first type of the process is the first come first serve. It's like the when you come at the first, we will serve you everything, and then you will go, then the next process will come, it will execute it fully, and then it will go next, the third process will come. So this algorithm works like that, and when the first process it's come, then it will execute, means the first process that will wait for the 1 hour. So from 0 to arriving to 1 hour, means the first process arrived at 10, then it will stay only for 1 hour, and when the time is finished, it will go after that the next process will come. In between any other process cannot come for that. So that process is known as the first come first serve. In other between no one will come, it will first, the process will come, then it will be executed, then the process will go, then after the next process will come. So this is known as the first come first serve. For that the first algorithm will say that the input of the process will along with the burst time, when the burst time that is 2 milliseconds, 3 milliseconds, 4, 5, 6, etc, etc, for that. So this is the burst time. Next it will we will find the turnaround time, waiting time, average waiting time, turnaround time. Next it will execute it fully, and from that we can find out the first process waited for how milliseconds, and what was the average waiting time or turnaround time that we will see in the program. Next we will go to the next algorithm, that is the shortage of work. Means this second algorithm is used is means if we have the burst time, but we are having the smallest priority, means shortage of means if the other process is having the larger job, and the shorter job is the first one, then it will first execute it, and next the larger job will come. Means the next shortage job, first algorithm chooses the process that has the smallest cpu burst time. Means the second one is having 10, and this is having 5. So the 5 will be executed first, then the 10 will be executed. So all the processes that are according to the input that will be arrived time, it will be sorted ascending according to their arriving in the 5, 10, 15, 20, etc, like that. It will executed, and the ready queue it will be waiting there. Means the first, if the shortest state is executing, another the larger process that will be waiting in the ready queue, and next the shortest job it is executed, then the larger job it will come to the execution, and then it will be solving. Next we will see the priority scheduling. So the priority scheduling is one of the most common scheduling in the batch system. Each process is assigned a priority. Means each process, the process is having a process 1, process 2, process 3. Each will be having arriving time, each will be having burst time, and each will be having the priority. So the priority work, what will we do, each priority is assigning to the process, and which will be the process with the highest priority will be executed first. Means the process will having the highest priority. Means if the first process that is arrived at 0, then it will execute till the process is having the higher priority. When the first priority is having 10, the first process is arrived at 0 and the priority is 10, then it will see the next highest priority, that if it is having 12 or 15, then it will go to the next process. Like if 3 4 5 and it is having the next process, then it will be executed, and next again after that the process is completed, it will go back and see what are the remaining processes, and then it will complete the lowest processes. First it will give the priority for the highest, and then it will move to the smallest. So next algorithm that we are going to see, that is a round robin scheduling algorithm. So this scheduling algorithm is designed especially for the time sharing. Means the ready queue is available, the process are that are 5, and the time quantum is means if we visit to the doctor, then the time of meeting, if the time of meeting is maximum for 2 hours, but you have to meet more than 2 hours for that, then it will be round robin algorithm. Means the first process is having the 4, but the timing is 2, then the first process it will stay for 2 hours, then the time is over, it will go again, the next process will come. If the it is having satisfied with 2 hours, then the that process will be executed too, and then the process will go out of the ready queue, but the first is having only the 2 hours of waiting, but another 2 hours are there. So then it will go to the ready queue, it will come out of ready queue and it will go into the execution queue, and then the second process will be executed. After that it will go on and on, and then it will switch the process, and so on the round robin algorithm works. So we will move to the question that implement the CPU scheduling algorithm using C++ or Python. So we have to implement algorithm. For that, the first is FCFS, shortage of first, round robin and priority. So we will move to the dev C++. So this is the first program. This is the first program, that is the FCFS. For that, this is the input that we are going to take, that is we will take each number process each of burst time, and then it will be executed. For that we will need the input of the user, that is the number of process, burst time, wait time, turnaround time, and INJ for the execution in for loop, the float is for the average waiting time, and the turnaround time. Next it will we will take the process from the user, that is the enter the number of process, it will take the number of process. After that it will take the burst time of the process, and each in for loop it will take till number. If we enter the 3 processes, it will take only till 3, and it will execute the processes from 3. Next we will assign the waiting time to the 0. It will this will calculate the first, it will calculate the burst time of the processes, then next it will take the burst time. After this we see for I is equal to 1, for I is less than number I plus means the waiting time is assigned. After this we see the waiting time will be added to the burst time, that we will see in this waiting time. If we see the waiting time, for that we will need the waiting time is equal to turnaround time minus burst time, and that will be a waiting time. Next the turnaround time will be, turnaround time is equal to burst time plus waiting time, but if we can also use the completion time minus arrival time. Next we will go see, then this part it will take the burst time. Next it will calculate the waiting. After that it will print, it will this print the processes, the burst time, waiting time, and turnaround time. So here in the for loop, this is the main execution. For that here it will this line, This will calculate the turnaround time because the first the burst time and waiting time. So here the waiting time is calculated. For that the waiting time is the turnaround time minus burst time. For that it will calculate here the average waiting time. This will calculate the average waiting time. Average waiting time is equal to average waiting time plus waiting time. So this will calculate average waiting time. So this will calculate the turnaround time, and then it will print the processes. For that, next the for loop is executed. We will go here, average waiting time, that will be divided by average waiting time by I. The same for turnaround time. Then it will calculate this turnaround time, means the turnaround time, it will calculate how many turns it is taking, and the waiting time is for the amount of time spent by the process for waiting in the ready queue. Next it will calculate, and this line will print average waiting time and the turn around time. So here if we run this program, we will enter the process, that is 3. For example, we enter here 4, 24, 3 and 3. So this is the process. These are the processes for the first come first serve. Here is the only condition. The first process that will come, it will be executing fully, and next the second process will come. So the burst time for the first process is 24. For the second and third, that is 3. For the waiting time of the first process, that is 0. For the second is 24. For the third is 27. Next the turnaround time, that will be the turnaround time, that is 24, uh, 27 and 30. So after this calculating this turnaround time, burst time, turnaround time, burst minus arriving, so it will calculate, and it will show the average waiting time, that is 17.0000 milliseconds, and average turnaround time, that is 27 milliseconds. Next we will go to the our next program, that is the shortest job first. So the shortest job first, this work it will do. So the first it will ask, we will take the inputs from the user, that is enter the number of process, the burst time, then it will calculate that. So for that we will need number, burst time, wait time, turnaround time, ij index for that term, temp and item. For that number of process we will take from the user, and this will calculate, it will give the index because the shortest job first, the process which will be having the shortest job, it will be executed first. But if the both processes are having the same same burst time, means the process 2 is having 3, and the process 3 is also having 3, but the shortest, the first process that comes, that is 2, then the 2 will be executed, and next it will be going to the third. So that this will take the burst time from the user, index will be I, this will store. Next the burst time, it will check the burst time, that will be greater. If the burst time is same, it will swap the burst time. Next it will go to the uh, next, and if it is having the smaller one, it will swap the burst time, and it will sort accordingly. So this unit, it is executing the swap function, means shortest job. The burst time is greater than burst time of I is greater than burst time of j. In this burst time of I is greater than burst time of j, it will swap this both, and it will swap these indexes. When the larger that will go down, the shorter will come up. So this waiting time will be initialized to 0 because it is having only 0. Next this will print processes, burst time, waiting time and turnaround time. Next this waiting time of it will increment one by one waiting time, that will be added, then it will calculate the shortest. It will be executing fully. Next it will print. This function will work for the average waiting time. This will be for turnaround time, and this function is, as we see here, this it will work for the printing average waiting time and turnaround time. Same here it will work for average waiting time and turnaround time. So then it will print the average waiting time and turnaround time. Now we will see the output of this code for shortage of first. If we give here 4, so first process is having 24, next is having 10, and 3 and 3. So here if we see, this is both having the first priority, the first is having 24, second is having 10, 3 is having 3, and 4 is having 4. But in shortest it will check the shortest. From this we can see 3 and 4 is having the shortest, but from this only the 3 is coming first. For that the process 3 will be executed. Next it will go to the 4, then it will go to the 10 and next 24. For that the bus time is 3, it will be 3, 10 and 24. The waiting time is 0, 3, 6 and 16. Turnaround time that will be 3, 6, 16 and 20, 40. Then it will print the average waiting time, that is 6.25 milliseconds, and average turnaround time that will be 16.25 milliseconds. This will calculate the waiting time and turnaround time, and this will print the average waiting time and turnaround time. Next we will move to the round robin algorithm. So round robin, it is having the time quantum, and next it will print the time that is for the users. For that this is the library, that is vendor, means it will take the arrival time and bus time. Then it will print the bus time and arrival time. For that this will take number, time, remaining time, temp, time quantum, waiting time and turnaround time. So here we will take the process from the user, means how many process we have to execute it next. It will remain the same. This vendor, it is the built-in function. Then it will initialize the et means arrival time, bt means bus time, r means round robin or runtime. For that it will be executed. For that this function is used for the arrival and bus time. For that in I, this first it will take the arrival time here, this will take the arrival time, this will take the bus time, and this time will be sent to this, and it will calculate the bus time and arrival time. After this we will take next time quantum, is how many, for example 2, 3, 4, like that we can see. So this will take the time quantum, and if the process is having 10 bus time, but it is the time quantum is only for 5, then it will come twice, like that it will come. Next in for loop we can see the time is 0, I is 0, remaining is not equal to 0. Then this process, this unit of time is used for rt, that is runtime. This is I less than is equal to time quantum, and if anyone is true, that it will print true, or else false it will print. Then the time it will calculate, means if process 1 is executing one time, and it is having 4. For that it will come 3 times in the queue. For that this time it is calculated. Next, else if rt means runtime is greater than, it will minus the time, and it will see, means the first process is done, then it will calculate the next one. If it is done, then it will add by 1, and time content it will add. So this process is doing that specific task. Then it will go minus minus. The first process is executed of is having the burst time of 4, but is the time quantum is 2. Then it will go to the queue, ready queue. Only the first time 2 will be there. Next it will go back into the line, and after then the line is coming, it will execute it for the second time. Means for minus minus, the 2 will be minus from 4, so the remaining timing will be 2. For that we will calculate this, and this will print the process. This will print the turn around, the time and burst time. Then this will print the waiting time and the turnaround time. And here if the I is equal to, means this I is equal to number minus 1, means this number will be minus 1 by 1, means it will go back and back. For that it is equal to, then I will be 0, else if at I plus, means it is incremented. If it is greater, less than is equal to, then the time is executed, and I plus plus it will add, and else if it is 0, then this will print the waiting time and turnaround time. So let's check the output of this program. So here we can see, so I am entering here the 4 process. So for that, if we enter 0 0 3 0 10 0 5, time quantum if we give here 2. So here this is the process turnaround time and waiting time. For the process 2 is having 11, the turnaround time that is 11, waiting time is 8. For 4 it is having 20, 15, 28, 18. For the process 1, that will be 42 and 18, means it will go back and back. This all processes are arrived at 0, but the time quantum is it, how many times it will calculate. Here it will be 20, then 18, and so on. Here it is only this is 2, means first, and then 1 it will go for 1. So for here 8, 8, then 6, then 4. For that it will go, and here it will go, so and so. Then this is showing turnaround time and waiting time. And for this all processes, average waiting time is 14.20, 14.75, and turnaround time is 25.25. So next we will go to the priority. So here the priority is working as the priority burst time processes. It will go by process and process, and next it will go by priority, means which is having the highest priority, that will be executed first, and next it will go to the next priority, to the lowest lower priority. For this this will take, we will take the number of processes, and here it will take, we will take the burst time, and the priority means burst time is having 24 or 3, and the priorities is having 6 or 1 or 5 or 10. So here this will, this line will increment process one by one. Next it will go here. For I is equal to 0, I is less than number I plus plus, the position it will check, and it will assign the priority of j is less than priority of position. Then this position will be given here for j, in that this will swap temp to the priority of I, priority of j, priority of I to position to temp, means swapping this function will do. For the burst time of I, same process for the process. Then this will print the, this will go to the priority, and it will calculate the timing. Next if we see here, for I, this will calculate the waiting time, and it will calculate the waiting time, and it will print the total waiting time. This will calculate average waiting time, the total time. So this line it will print process burst time, waiting time, and turnaround time. So this is this time is calculating the turnaround time. This will add the total turnaround time, and then this will print processes burst time, waiting time, and turnaround time. And all this average waiting time and turnaround time that are added, and then it will print all this in average waiting time and turnaround time. Let's see the output of this program. If we enter here 4 processes, for this if I enter 6 burst time priority 3, 14, 1, 2, 2, here it, for burst time I give here 3, priority is 10. So here we can see for the second process it is having the highest priority, that is the 14. Then it will go here, next it will go to the highest priority next, but nothing is there. Then it will go to the second, next it is having the 6 and 3. Then it will calculate one by one, and it will print the waiting time and turnaround time of each process. So like this it will calculate the priority scheduling algorithm. So this was the experiment number 4, CPU scheduling algorithms of operating system lab. Thanks for watching my video.